Hello Kitty is one of the most successful licensed brands in the world. Next year, it's celebrating its 14th anniversary. Today, we are having a conversation with the executive officer Sanrio, Japan, Mr. Roberto Lanzi. Hello, Mr. Lanzi. We are glad to welcome you in Russia.
Thank you to you for welcoming me. I'm very happy and proud to be in Russia. It's a country I love since ever.
And I would like to start with the following question. Could you please tell us how Hello Kitty brand was created? And is it true that Sanrio designers were working out a universal brand for several years, aimed with psychological conclusions and results of the researchers?
Talking about Hello Kitty has been created, as you know, 40 years ago. And it has been created by one lady, not by a team. It was a lady designing this cat. At that time, Sanrio was very strong, already very strong, with other properties like Little Twin Stars or My Melody, Tuxedo Sam. Hello Kitty was a miracle of a designer and was a miracle on a philosophy standpoint. As you probably noticed, Hello Kitty is such a simple design, no colors, one outline. And it is a character based on communication. It's a positive message to all the people, kids, adults, all the people, even men. I believe this was the very big success. And yes, on the back of Hello Kitty was the basic philosophy of Sanrio, created by the founder. Still, our motto is a small gift, big smile. And still now, we follow up with this. Yes, for sure, the lady who designed Hello Kitty and the guideline that the owner, the founder, gave to her at that time was psychologically based. But basically, I believe that most of the success is really due to the simplicity, to the positive message, and that's it.
In their book, Hello Kitty, The Remarkable Story of Sanrio and the Billion-Dollar Feline Phenomenon, Ken Brelson and Brian Bremner connect some vagueness Hello Kitty image has, mouth absence in particular, with Zen-like technique that allows Hello Kitty to become, I quote, at once the princess of purity to toddlers, a cuddly playmate for young girls, and a walk down memory lane for adults, yearning for another taste of childhood. What do you think about that?
This fact of not putting the mouth on this design was the objective. The goal was exactly this. When you put a mouth and or you put some words in someone's mouth, you want and you do send a very precise message. So I give you an example. I can tell you I'm romantic, or I can tell you I'm a punk, or I can tell you I'm a rocker. Without mouth, you leave all consumers or all the people watching at Hello Kitty, you leave them to interpret as they like. You don't give a very precise message. You don't say you have to be romantic. So this was an unbelievable intuition of the designer. I still believe it's one of the success reasons, still now. Everyone is free to interpret Hello Kitty as they like.
Next year, Hello Kitty celebrates its 40th anniversary. The brand is not a content-based one, but it has been a fashion icon and a lifestyle brand for a long time, and has conquered hearts of millions of people all over the world. Since Hello Kitty appeared, there were dozens of brands created in the world with images as nice and cute as the one of Hello Kitty. But none of the non-content-based brands couldn't have ever come up with Hello Kitty. In your opinion, what's the secret of success of this unique brand?
There are many secrets, but the most important is the open mind of the founder. The founder, you have to understand, I'm the only Western men in the board. All of them, they are Japanese, 22 directors. And he was so open-minded to let me do many things around the world that probably our competitors would not have allowed. And we did a strategy, we applied a strategy very close to the people, to the lifestyle of the people. This, I believe, is the biggest secret, was to really adjust this character on the life of the people instead of pushing. We let the consumer decide. We didn't push, and we don't push, still now. This has been very appreciated by especially celebrities. Don't forget that most of our fans, like Lady Gaga or Paris Hilton or Katy Perry, or most of these girls, Cameron Diaz, we never ever paid any one of them. They are not our testimonials. They are just fans.
How profitable is Hello Kitty today?
The company is very profitable, but it's my pleasure to say that one of the reasons I have a very strange personal story. I've been a musician until when I was 30, and now I'm 55. It's 25 years that I work on this project. And I would not have been working 25 years with a very normal business company. Sanrio is not a normal business company. We have 7 foundations in the company, and we are unbelievably active on social activities. So yes, we are very profitable, we are very interesting for investors. But on the other hand, our founder, who is still alive, he's 85 now, his son is 61, they are still very, very active in redistributing a part of this money in a very serious way. That was the part I enjoyed more, because I'm also president of Sanrio Foundation, and we have hospitals in Africa. It's beautiful. We sell in 200 countries. It's probably the most sold characters around the world. We sell in Ghana, Rwanda, Somalia. So it's very, very difficult. If we speak compared to number of inhabitants, the population and penetration, I would say that probably today the hottest country in the world is Mexico. But it doesn't make a big sense. I mean, we are a monopoly in Portugal, but Portugal is just 9.5 million people, so it's 1/3 of Moscow. It's more or less popular all over the world in the same way. What is different is the target age. In Europe now I mean in the last 3 years, is a little bit more childish than to adult. In the US is much more adult. So the target age is not always the same. And of course we still have emerging territories like Russia. In Russia we are not developed. We are now applying with the real new strategy to work well with this country.
What is Hello Kitty licensed products turnover in Russia now, and do you consider Russia to become one of the key markets for the brand?
I don't know the turnover, and even because in the licensing business, anytime they speak to you about turnover, they lie a lot. Nobody knows anything, because licensing, you know, we are based on royalties. Very, very difficult to understand the market value of one operation. So I don't speak about turnover. I believe today Russia is not a key market. Russia will be in 5 years probably our biggest market. We have 3 territories that we are really carrying off around the world. One is China, one is India, one is Russia. In Africa we are already very well developed. Russia potentially can be a number one, an absolute number one. But there are still so many things to do, because Russia is a huge territory. So if you want to know what we do in Moscow, what we do in St. Petersburg, is fantastic. Business is growing and growing and growing. I don't think we are yet on Minsk. I believe we will get there very soon. We see a lot of interest of big company, of corporation to develop this brand. But in Russia, it will take still 4 to 5 years, that's for sure.
According to you, what's the difference between Russian and European markets?
Biggest difference, ladies. In Russia, it's very few years, in the history is of very few years that we are out of a communist system. There is an excess of freedom. When you have been pushed down for a long time, when they open the door, you probably exceed in the other direction, until when you don't find a good balance. It takes time. sometimes takes one generation. In Russia, the ladies, they still love to show much more than in Europe. So this is probably the biggest differences in showing. Why you don't see so many girls with Hello Kitty or Mickey Mouse t-shirt? Because they need to show Dolce & Gabbana. There is a different approach. Still, Russia is so much in fashion, in the brand, in the fashion brand. So they are not yet open to do their own thing, what they like. They follow fashion. If now Gucci is trendy, Gucci has to be.
Is Hello Kitty license more expensive today than the ones of the leading animation studios?
We try not to be more expensive, we try not to be cheaper, we try to be very reasonable. Japanese mentality, this is not only Sanrio, they are never ever oriented to short-term business, money for money. They always try to set up long-term relationships with partner, distributor, shop owners, licensee. So they never ever squeeze. Of course it's not free, of course everybody works for money, but no, we are not more expensive than other or cheaper than other, no.
And do you see growth potential in Hello Kitty brand? Where does it lie?
We, frankly speaking, in our strategy, we are not fighting to grow. We are more interested in growing in the same way all over the world. So in our strategy, Sudan is probably more important than France today. In France, we are very well covered. Our structure is perfect. We don't want 2% more or to be too pushy. There's a lot to do around the world. But yes, it will grow because of Russia, because of China, because of India, it will grow.
Do you think that appearing of a new non-content-based brand able to repeat Hello Kitty's success is possible today? What is required for this?
Yes, it is possible. It is possible again to do the same story. This has nothing to do with age or years. It's only in the creativity of the people. There is a big lack of creativity around the world, not only in characters. There's a lack of creativity in book writing, in movie producers, in music production. I believe that for the young people this would be a fantastic exercise to start thinking about something totally new, and I wish they do. Yes, but it is possible. It is possible. Especially now with the web. At our time, when we did Hello Kitty, the mouth-to-mouth business was very difficult because nobody in Japan was communicating with Taiwan or Italy. Now the web can change drastically things. But the web is also teaching to young people to burn everything in very short time. They don't look for a long period. But yes, it's possible, and I wish that they do. Yeah.